These Republican dicks keep calling President Obama a socialist. What the hell is a socialist?
Well, a socialist is someone who opposes the political and economic system that we call capitalism.
Okay, but what the fuck does that mean?
Well, under a capitalist system, the economy is dominated by private ownership. The factories, the oil companies, the banks, the stores where you shop, in other words, the means of production, are all privately owned. Industries are organized to produce profits for the owners of industry and their investors.
I see. Now I understand why you called Bill Gates a capitalist pig. I thought that was some kind of fancy pants compliment.
Capitalists are the people who control industries and make a living, not by working, but by making other people work for them. The vast majority of people, the working class, make a living by selling their labor to the capitalists. In other words, workers are people who depend on a paycheck for a living, and capitalists are people who make a living off exploiting workers.
What the hell are you talking about now? Exploiting? Is that a good thing?
No. All the wealth in the world is produced and distributed by the labor of the working class. The only way to make a profit is to exploit workers, to pay them less than the full value of the goods they've produced. For the capitalists, the working class is the goose that lays the golden egg.
So, what's your problem? This is just the way the world works. Get over it.
The problem is, because the working class is not paid for the full value of their labor, they cannot buy back all the wealth they create. This is a fundamental reason for economic crisis.
That's nonsense. Stop talking stupid.
For example, the United States was the dominant economic power in the world after World War II. But, by the 1970s, US capitalism was not as profitable. So, the capitalists came up with a series of policies to restore profits, such as globalized free trade, outsourcing and a tax on wages and benefits. In the United States, over the past 3 decades, wages and living standards stagnated. The problem was that the US was still one of the key consumer markets for the capitalist system, while at the same the buying power of US workers was massively undermined. To continue living the good life, workers took out massive amounts of credit.
Don't remind me.
But an economy built upon credit is unsustainable. Karl Marx explained credit is like an elastic band. It can be stretched only so far, and eventually it snaps back.
Wow. You are blowing my mind. Why do we look like Legos?
Modern capitalism is rotten to the core. Just look at what happened last year. The Federal Reserve said that net household wealth fell by 9% in 2008. $11 trillion just vanished. People lost their homes, their retirement savings, their jobs. But the greedy bailed out Wall Street bankers took home more than $18 billion in bonuses in 2008. But, for what? For triggering the worst economic system since the 1930s.
Okay, I get it. But, wait. What the hell is a socialist again?
A socialist wants to replace the blind nature of the profit system with a democratically planned economy that is controlled and managed by the whole of society, and not just a small group of greedy rich men. Socialists call for the public ownership of the biggest corporations and banks under democratic workers' control and management. On this basis, we could free up resources to create millions of jobs, provide free, quality health care for all, build thousands of new schools, and build a better world for all.